for the four-door, which brings us to $1986.5 and the $12,875 Fiero GT. Last year's GT brought V6 power to the Fiero, but Pontiac and lots of performance car enthusiasts felt the car needed another injection of sportiness. So Pontiac gave the Fiero GT, and only the GT, a whole new look with clear sailplane quarter panels and a Firebird look-alike tail end. But bodywork is a matter of taste. Has the Fiero GT improved as a sports car? Well, inside, the answer is yes, even though changes are few. Instrumentation has been upgraded. The temperature gauge is now located in the center of the instrument cluster, and it's joined by an oil pressure gauge and voltmeter on top of the center console. They're not in the direct line of sight, but they also have large warning lights built in just to get your attention. Our car's 4-speed manual shifter was the most precise we'd found in any Fiero yet, but the lever is still too tall and positioned too far back for most drivers. And that long-awaited 5-speed manual, well, it's still not ready for production. But the Fiero's port-injected 2.8-liter V6 has plenty of power, and 4 gears seem quite sufficient, thank you. That engine was added last year. But since this year's GT has gained a few pounds, thanks to the extra skin, acceleration times were just slightly slower. It's still pretty quick. Quarter-mile time was 16.2 seconds at 85 miles per hour. Likewise, 0 to 60, 8.5 seconds. The 2.8 V6 is one of our favorites for its smoothness, low RPM power, and especially for its lively exhaust notes, something a good sports car really should have. And Pontiac must have had that in mind when they upgraded the GT's suspension. In addition to different shock valving and spring rates, they added 15-inch tires, 205/60s at the front, 215/60s at the rear. But we're sorry to say it didn't really improve the Fiero's handling much. The steering is still too heavy, and there's a lot of initial plow when cutting into a turn. In the slalom, the Fiero GT does anything but encourage you to drive faster. When you do drive fast and have to make an emergency maneuver, you have to do it carefully. Lift off the throttle in the middle of a turn, as many drivers would in this situation, and this could be the result, a textbook example of excessive trailing throttle oversteer. Here's the same thing again, at the same speed, but without lifting off the gas. You can see there's still quite a bit of twitchiness. So while the latest GT is the most performance-oriented Fiero yet, changes this year did more for appearance than for spirit. It still doesn't hold a candle to the Firebird Trans Am for excitement. What it needs now is the promised new suspension, and soon. But we'll still give Pontiac lots of credit. When you have strong parents and a big family, it's hard to keep your individuality. Pontiac has made excellent strides, and their Grand Am SE, Fiero GT, and other models have become performance standouts in the GM clan.